The Blue Jays did something today that they don't usually do. And that is win a baseball game at Tropicana Field. Crazy stats coming into the ball game today. For number one, the Blue Jays have not played well as of late. The last couple of games, they've lost to the Orioles. And as for Tampa, they'd won 6 straight games coming into this series. They had scored 6 or more runs in either 6 or 7 straight games. They've been incredible. In 7 straight games, they've had double-digit hits. You know, they've been basically hitting everything they see. But the Blue Jays and Jacob Waguespack hold the Rays to 5 hits and shut them out. These types of games are ones we look at and say, this is the part of the future that's really, really exciting. Let's start with Jacob Waguespack. I know the offense came early in the ball game, but let's talk about Waguespack because he's arguably the player of the game in this one. I think he is, no doubt. He was mixing his pitches incredibly well. He was throwing first pitch strikes. He was mixing it and throwing them in great spots. You know, he deserved the victory today. He's now 3-1 on the year. He walked 1 guy in 6 innings, and that was in his last inning. And he struck out 4 and gave up 4 hits over 6 innings and got double plays when he needed to, made really good pitches when he needed to. And that's been the problem with this young Blue Jays the pitching staff. Look at Thomas Pannone in his last outing. And did a great job, gave up a solo shot to Jonathan VR against Baltimore, then caved in and gave up the 3-run shot to Trey Mancini, and just like that, boom, the game's blown wide open. But every single time the Rays got 1 or even 2 runners on base in this game, whether it was error or hit or walk or whatever, Waguespack found a way to make the right pitches at the right times and got the outs. And that is key to any starting pitcher. And over the last few starts, Jacob Waguespack has been incredible. He came into the game with a 4.80 earned run average. He leaves the ballpark today after 6 shutout innings with a 4 even earned run average. Jacob Waguespack has turned into an amazing pitcher for this team as of late. It's a very small sample size, right? With the 6 innings today, he's only thrown 36 innings in the big leagues. So we're going to pump the brakes a tad bit, but what you can't pump the brakes on is an incredible outing against a red-hot team in a building that as a team, or as an organization, you never play well in. And Waguespack goes down there and shuts the door. It was incredible to watch. Now, it does help when you have a lead before you even touch the mound. Leadoff batter, Bo Bichette. This guy has been absolutely sensational. Over a 400 batting average since being recalled from Charlie Buffalo. Now, I deal it in like 5 or 6 games, so it's very, very small. But he leads off the ball game today with a double off the wall. And did you see where the pitch was? It was up and out of the strike zone, away, and he finds a way to get enough barrel on it to hit it deep off the wall. He ends up at second. I personally think he missed second, so he had to go back and get I think if he actually touched second, he would have been at third. But we're not going to get into it because Kevin Biggio, the next batter, on the first pitch he sees, hits a single opposite field into left field. Bichette comes in to score, and the Blue Jays and Jacob Waguespack have a 1-0 lead right out of the gate. And to see that happen, not only does it help Waguespack, but it gives the Blue Jays some sense of, all right, we got the lead already, let's go to work. And they did. Top of the 3rd inning, Bo Bichette up again. And I love that he's looking curveball because he's realizing what pitchers, bread and butter is. What is Charlie Morton so good at? He's got a hard fastball and he's got a crazy curveball. So Bichette knows that he can hit a fastball, so he's looking curveball. First pitch is a fastball, 95, blows it by him, whatever, don't worry about it. Next pitch, a curveball over the middle of the plate. He's waiting for it, and he crushes it to right center field, and it's gone! A solo shot for Bo Bichette. The Jays have a 2-0 lead, and that's where it ended up, obviously. So Bo Bichette leading the way offensively for the Blue Jays in this one. I mean, he goes 2 for 4 in the game with 2 runs scored, an RBI, and obviously the home run, and ties Carlos Delgado. All right, for the first 3 home runs in 8 games. That was the span that Bo Bichette has hit his first 3 home runs, and that ties Carlos Delgado for the quickest in Blue Jays franchise history. That's a pretty damn good name if you ask me. Now, ideally, you're going to expect Bo Bichette to slow down at some point. You're not expecting him to hit, 417 for his career. It's just not physically possible. No big leaguer does it. Not even the best Mike Trout does that. Excuse me. So, we're enjoying him raking right now, but eventually pitchers are going to figure out what his strong suits are not, what he's not so great at, and they'll start pounding that. And whether Bo Bichette adjusts, that's the key. Now, before the ballgame, we hear about Vladimir Guerrero Jr. getting Player of the Week for the second time this year, and well-deserved. He's been absolutely torching the ball today, and he had somewhat of a rough game today. He's 0 for 3 against Charlie Morton, and but goes 1 for 4 in the ballgame, gets a hit off of, I think it was Austin Pruitt, I think it was, in the ninth inning. So it's good to see him go 1 for 4. His batting average doesn't drop; it still is 279. So it's good to see there for Vladdy. Good to see him get that hit there. So bottom line, the young guys get the job done today. Freddie Galvis had a couple hits. He went 2 for 4 in the game. Randall Grichuk went 2 for 4. Great to see them swinging the bat well. Randall Grichuk had one heck of a road trip. He's hitting just a shade under 400 on the road trip. And the Blue Jays are 6-2 on the trip. They swept Kansas City. They won 2. Well, they split against Baltimore 2-2, and they won the opener today against Tampa. Incredible. The Blue Jays are playing amazing ball lately. They're 7-3 in their last 10. Yeah, they're 23 games under, and anybody still looking at a playoff berth is stupid. You don't look at wins and losses. We said that at the beginning of the year. Do not look at that column. Enjoy the young guys. If you see some wins here and there, great. Enjoy them for what they are, because this team is getting better. The young guys, at one point, they break your heart, as we saw the 3 errors in the ballgame, 2 from Bo and 1 from Vladdy. But you see some amazing things. Like Vladdy getting a double play to end the inning. Like seeing Reese McGuire and Kevin Biggio combine on a beautiful backdoor play at second base. Justin Schaefer makes the pitch. They see, Brosseau or whatever his name was, hanging out to dry there at second base, taking a huge secondary lead. So Maurice McGuire's like, I'm just going to pick you off, bud. And he fires it, and a great job by Biggio to slap the tag, even though he's fallen. And they get an amazing play, and that changes the entire complexity of that inning. You know why? That ball, because it was a ball that got fired into Reese McGuire. That was a 2-0 pitch. Or I guess it was a 1-0 pitch. It turned into 2-0. But there was runners at first and second with only 1 out, with a 2-0 count. Then, what does happen? Well, he gets thrown out. Now there's a 2 out and a runner at first. And what does Justin Schaefer do after that? Pumps the strike zone. Gets out of the inning. I love it. Seeing the young guys combine on a beautiful play. They're going to break your heart one day, as Pat Tabler said on the TV broadcast today. They're going to break your heart one day, and they're going to make you think, wow, these guys are amazing another time. Bo Bichette, great offensively, but the defense still ain't there as of yet. But he's so young, 21. He'll find a way at some point in time. Same with Vladdy, getting lots of hits, doing great offensively, but the defense just isn't quite there yet. It's just what baseball is, guys. It's all about development. And these guys were developing before our very eyes, and it's unbelievable. So let's go back to Jacob Waguespack for a second here. 3-1 on the year with the win today. 6 innings, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, and just incredible outing from him. But the bullpen comes in with Ken Giles down. He threw 15 pitches yesterday. You don't want to push him like crazy. You're not a playoff team, so you don't need him out there. So you put out Justin Schaefer, goes an inning and a third, gives up 1 hit, walks 1. That's about it, though. Doesn't get anything else against him. Great job there. ERA drops to 2.11 for Justin Schaefer. And he's pitched, 21 and a third innings. He's got an ERA of 2.11. He's been pretty damn good. He's 26 years old. I think right now we can pencil him in as a reliever for the future for the Toronto Blue Jays, at least for next season. And I'm liking it. Tim Mayza comes out, face one guy, face Austin Meadows, gets him out, drops his ERA 3 spots to 3.89. And again, Tim Mayza has been spectacular as of late. He's been throwing a lot of strikes. He's been getting the guys he's supposed to. Like, he came in for a matchup, a lefty-lefty matchup today against Austin Meadows, and he got him. And that's exactly what you want to see from your main lefty out of the bullpen. Great job there. And Derek Law. A guy that we have all kind of written off as kind of like a terrible pitcher, and he's been awful. And I will take it for what it is. I was one of those people. But over the last little while, Derek Law has been spectacular. A guy coming in, not too long ago with a 6.30 ERA and whatnot. He went an inning and a third today, picked up his second save. He obviously with Giles down, right? He didn't get the save in this one, but he didn't give up a hit. He didn't walk a batter and got a strikeout. So in the ninth inning, you're only up 2-0. He goes out there 1, 2, 3, ball game. ERA drops from 5.54 to 5.36. Derek Law has been spectacular lately, and I know I want to see him do well because we had to trade Kevin Pillar for the guy, so I want to see him do good. Plus, he's going to be a pitcher for the future. He hasn't had a lot of service time. There's millions of arbitration years available for this guy, so I'm not worried about losing him for nothing, right? Kind of thing. So it's good to see these younger players, or more inexperienced, I guess you want to call Derek Law, playing better. Seeing Waguespack go out there and do his thing is fantastic. Seeing Schaefer go out there and do awesome. Seeing Derek Law having a terrible start to the year with the Blue Jays, but really finding himself as of late. And same with Tim Meza. It's awesome. Because next year, this team might be competitive. Seeing what we're seeing right now from the Blue Jays, I can't see why the team might not contend next season. Now, ideally, pitching might be a big hindrance on that. We don't know what the heck's up with Ryan Baraki. He's going to end up needing Tommy John surgery. He had that second opinion with James Andrews, and anybody knows baseball really well knows that's the guy that does all the Tommy John surgery. So I'm praying to God it's not Tommy John, because that means he will not be pitching next year at all for the Blue Jays, and they got to find another arm. And with Sanchez and Stroman now gone, the pitching is very thin. Now, will Waguespack end up being a front of the line, middle of the line starter for the Blue Jays? I don't know. But as of late, he has been spectacular. And I'm loving what we're seeing from Jacob Waguespack. I'm just hoping it continues for the rest of the season. And who knows what he'll be in the future. But as of right now, I'm loving it. All right, quickly down to the minor leagues. No Buffalo Bisons, no New Hampshire Fisher Cats in play today. And down in Dunedin, all right, with no Cal Stevenson. But we're not going to get into that. All right. Any positive down there? Alejandro Kirk went 1 for 4 in the ballgame. Demior Lemoye went 2 for 3 with a couple runs scored. Only hitting .236 on the season, though. Casey Clemens, a guy who's been awful for the Blue Jays offensively, for the Dunedin Blue Jays this year. He's been terrible. He went 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs, and 2 walks in the game. Still only hitting .175 on the year. Not very good down there. Kevin Vicuna, I didn't realize how young this guy was actually playing in Dunedin. He went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run scored, hitting .246 on the season. And Samad Taylor went 2 for 2 with a walk. All right, in that game, hitting .219 on the season. All right, and on the mound, my man, Maximo Castillo, the guy I was talking about last year down in Lansing. He did a great job down there, and he has come up to Dunedin and done just the same, if not better. He went 7 innings, got 5 hits, 1 run, didn't walk a batter, struck out 6. All he gave up was a solo shot and then 4 other hits through 7, struck out 6. ERA dropped to 2.85. Remember, this guy's only 21 or 22 years old in Dunedin, tearing it up. I think he's only 21. Incredible job by Maximo Castillo. I'm loving what we're seeing from this young kid. He continues to impress me, and next year he will start the year at AA, and who knows what'll happen from there. If he has a great first half of the season, boop, AAA, and then maybe a September call-up. Who knows? It all depends on how things line up for these young players for the Blue Jays, but loving what I'm seeing from my boy Maximo Castillo down there in Dunedin. Down to the Lansing Lugnuts here, and the young offensive players continue to show us some great signs down there in Lansing. Otto Lopez at the leadoff spot goes 2 for 4. He's hitting .308 on the year. The kid's only 19, looking real nice down there in Lansing. Gabriel Moreno, the catcher, was he catching today? Yes, he was. 1 for 3 in the game, hitting .312 on the season. And Griffin Conine, after that awful struggle that he had a little while ago, has really started to find himself a little better. He was 1 for 3 in the game, hitting .282 on the season down in Lansing. So the three-headed monster of Lopez, Moreno, and Conine all got hits in the ball game today for Lansing, and great things happening down there. Now for the Vancouver Canadians, actually they're not playing. They're actually all-star games kicking up now, which is great to see. And down in Bluefield, Deshaun Brown quickly down in the Gulf Coast, GCL Blue Jays Gulf Coast League. Went 0 for 3 today. He's only hitting over 200. So having a tough time there is Deshaun Brown early on in his Blue Jays career, but He's 17 years old. He'll find himself. I'm not too worried about Deshaun Brown. All right, down in Bluefield, some great things for Miguel Geraldo. Went 2 for 3 in the ballgame with an RBI, a run scored, and a walk. hitting .304 on the year. The 18-year-old Miguel Geraldo doing great things down in Bluefield. And on the mound, this guy Concepcion, I think it's Joel Concepcion from the Dominican Republic, 20-year-old guy, went 2 innings, didn't give up a hit, didn't walk a batter, and struck out 2, ERA of 2.90. Maybe keep an eye on this kid. I don't know. Just to keep an eye on there for you guys. All right, so next up for the Blue Jays is Game 2 of the 3-game set against the Tampa Bay Rays there tomorrow night. 7:10 first pitch at Tropicana Field. All right, there's no starter as of right now for the Tampa Bay Rays, but for the Blue Jays, it's Trent Thornton. All right, on the mound as he looks to build off that really good last start he had against the Baltimore Orioles. What we've learned about Trent is he pitches very well against Baltimore. That's great. But he does not pitch very well against the Tampa Bay Rays. So, what are we going to see from him tomorrow? I don't know. ERA of 5.23 for Trent Thornton. He's thrown 105 innings for the Blue Jays. It's great to see that. To see him throw 105 innings and have 102 strikeouts, it's really nice to see for Trent Thornton. But we want to start seeing more progression from him as we're seeing from Jacob Waguespack on a night-to-night, or I guess every 5 days. It's looking really good for Waguespack, and I want to see Trent Thornton continue to develop. And we'll have to see how it goes tomorrow night. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video, and you guys enjoyed the victory there today at Tropicana Field. Smack that like button. Do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the ball game there tonight, your thoughts on Jacob Waguespack, your thoughts on not Kevin Bichette. Well, you could. Sure, if you want to say something about Kevin Bichette, go right ahead. But Bichette, if you want to have something you want to say about him, go right ahead in the comments below. What have you thought of the bullpen? Derek Law, Justin Schaefer, Tim Mesa, those kind of guys? And anybody in the minor leagues that I haven't touched on that you've been keeping an eye on in the minor leagues, let me know in the comments below, please. All right. Blue Jays Wave on Instagram, guys. My main man, Mo Buckets, on Twitter. I wasn't able to be on their podcast this week because I was at the cottage, as you guys know. And hopefully, next week I won't be able to either. I'll be down in Pennsylvania. Yeah, you guys heard it here, folks. First, I guess. My aunt's down there in Pennsylvania, so I'm going down there for a week, so it's going to be a long time. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to do videos for you guys, so that I don't think that'll be an issue. But I'm just letting you guys know that that's going to be happening on Saturday. I'm leaving, so I'm just giving you guys the heads up right now about all that mumbo jumbo. All right, like I said, guys, check out my main man Mo Buckets on Twitter and Blue Jays Wave on Instagram. He's posted highlights, post-game stuff about the Blue Jays. Look, you guys know the game's just finished, but he's already posted the post-game stuff. He's right on top of it. I love what he does. Go check him out, guys. Blue Jays Wave. Twitter is down below, guys. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. And I will talk to you guys, Jays Edition, in Game 2 of the 3-game set against the Tampa Bay Rays there tomorrow night. Trent Thornton mound for the Blue Jays. No clue for the Tampa Bay Rays. 7:10 first pitch at Tropicana Field as the Blue Jays look to win a series down in Tropicana Field. What? It has been a long time coming, but we're going to have to wait and see how it all plays out there tomorrow night. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Talk to you guys then.